Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be going over how to play B site on Dust2. Now, anchoring B site is one of the hardest positions in the game. Since the site is so small, there's only so many places you can play, and if the T's clear things properly, it's going to be hard for you to get a multi-kill unless you have good utility or support. So I'm going to explain very simply what you need to be doing if you're playing the B site, whether you're playing alone or with a teammate, and I'm going to talk about what spots to play if you want the best chance of holding down this bomb site. But real quick before I start, I do have to say thank you to the sponsor of today's video, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is an automated trading site that allows you to take some of your old skins and trade them in for some new ones. There are a ton of skins on the site, but if you're looking for something specific, you can use the filter to find the skin that you're looking for. And when you're making your first trade on the site, make sure to use my code GRAPE for a bonus of up to $5 for free. If you see a skin on the site that you want and you don't have one of equal value, you can also deposit money with a 30% bonus plus an extra 5% if you use my code GRAPE at checkout. And even if you don't have anything to trade, they do free giveaways every single day, so there's literally nothing to lose by joining SkinsMonkey. So just make sure to use the link in my description and have fun trading. Alright, now the first thing we need to talk about is how to actually get to the B bomb site. As most of you know, we have to cross this door, and if the T's have an op and the opper on the enemy team is good, if we just jump or run across, we might get killed or tagged. Now there's two ways to cross to B safely. That's by either using a smoke like this, then we can just run straight through the smoke, not get spotted, and make it to the B site. Or you can actually use an HE. What you want to do is just run to right about here, look for these marks on the wall, crouch, move forward, left click, wait for the HE to pop, and then just jump across. This will create enough smoke so that the T's cannot see us. And now we have made it across the door safely. One important thing to note is that you don't want to be nading or smoking across every single round. You should try and pay attention to the T's money and understand if they have an op in the round. Then you can kind of gamble and save your smoke or nade. But of course, there's always going to be a chance that they buy a scout and go for the pick. But sometimes that's just a risk you have to take in order to keep the utility. And as for smoking the cross, you really should never be doing this as the B anchor. Since you're playing the B site as the anchor, you're going to want to keep the smoke if you need to stuff tons or use it on site somewhere to keep yourself alive. So if anything, it'll be like your mid player or one of the A players smoking the cross for you. So just try and keep in mind if the T's have an op or not, so you can save your smoke or HE if you can. Alright, now we can actually start talking about how to play the B bomb site. The first thing you want to do is throw your molly into tons. This will stop any T's from trying to rush out, and if they do want to rush, they're going to have to smoke the molly, and you're going to hear that and have time to react. You can also start by throwing a smoke instead of a molly, but if you have the option of throwing the molly, I would prefer to do that. When you're on the site in the late round, a smoke will be way more useful than a molly, and if we smoke in the T's rush, if they have good flashes, they're going to be able to go right through our smoke, and we're not even going to get the sound cue of them putting out the molly with their own smoke. Now, as for positioning, at the start of the round, there's really only two places you want to be starting. You're either going to be coming through the door after you throw your molly, starting towards car, listening to hear if they're rushing, playing anti-flash like this, but also make sure that you're shift walking because we don't want to give them the sound cue of us running into car so they know exactly where to clear. And then we can either tuck into the car, hold for the run out from here, or get into an angle like this at the car so we can hold while they're running out. A cool thing about this angle is that it actually blocks all the common flashes that the T's throw here. One of the most common flashes the T's will throw is a flash into this corner here. And if we're crouched right here, the car actually blocks this flash. Another really nice spot you can play is right here under the window. Since the T's will have to smoke our molly if they want to rush, anyone trying to run through initially will be a pretty free kill for us. So after we get our first kill, we can come tuck behind this box and then isolate our fights from either the right side or the left side. So you can try and take some fights on the right side while they're scaling up on the left wall. And even if they run out to the right side, they're most likely going to be clearing car. So you have a good chance of killing this guy while his back is turned. If you have enough time, you can also try and drop a smoke like this. Then with the support of someone towards mid throwing a flash behind you, you can jump up here and peek with the flash. Everyone running out of tons is going to be completely blind, but since the flash is landing behind you, you won't get blind at all. You can even take fights on this side of the smoke with the flash as well. Alright, now that we talked about what you want to do against the rush, let's talk about the mid round. If we're starting towards car, there's a couple things we can do. After we throw our molly and then see that there is no rush towards B, you can come right here and throw a nade off the wall like this. You just look for this sign, aim a little bit above it, run and throw. The nade lands here and will chunk anyone walking into tons. After you throw this nade, you can stay around car, but you just have to be wary that they might know you're here since you just threw the nade from close. One spot you can play is just jumping up here on the box. If you just shift walk and jump, you won't make any noise when you land, and then you can play this angle, kill anyone trying to walk out, and then drop and live from car. If we feel some sort of pressure or we don't really have a close rotate, we can also drop our smoke pretty early. And once we drop our smoke, there's a few different positions we can get to. If we started towards car, now if we dropped our smoke, it's a lot safer to fall back towards site, but some other good spots are actually close to the tons. Playing in these close corners can be good, but it relies on having a teammate close by. You really can't play here unless you have a teammate in the site with you, because if the T's try and come out, they're going to smoke doors. And if they throw just that one smoke, your teammate won't be able to help you at all, and you're at most going to get one kill and then get traded. But this spot can be really good if you're playing in this corner and you also have a teammate towards site, because he can take contact for you, and they might not even end up clearing you because they already saw this player towards site, and you're going to get some pretty free kills in the back. Same thing goes for this spot as well. Now, as for playing directly on the site, there's a couple cool off angles you can play. A really nice off angle you can get to after you use your smoke is sitting right here on this barrel like this. This spot is actually really good because if we look at it from a tease perspective, when you're clearing B, your focus is going to be on the site and towards the door. You're going to be peeking spots like this where you're safe to take this solo fight, peeking this crack, peeking under the window, peeking window, and this spot most of the time goes completely unchecked. Scaling out like this is also pretty awkward. Since you're so close to the wall, anyone on site would have such a huge advantage on you, so most people don't walk out like this anyway. So yeah, this off angle can be very strong. Another spot we can play after we throw our smoke is back sight. You really only want to try and cross the back sight after your smoke is up. If you try and cross late, you're risking running into an opera posted on you or a rifle, and that's not really a fight you want to give to the tees early in the round. Now this spot also will sometimes get mollied, so if we just sit here and don't peek until we get mollied, we're not going to have that great a chance of getting kills. What you want to be doing is periodically peeking up from this angle, but you need to understand the timing of when you should be peeking. You don't want to just be spam peeking up and down over and over again, because if you think of it this way, if we peek now and see that it's clear, and then we crouch back down to tuck, if we insta peek back up, if anyone just peeked into this, they're still going to be holding us. You want to give the tees the time to peek this and then walk up into the middle or end of the hallway, hoping that they're not holding this anymore and looking towards sight, and that's the timing you want to peek. So you peek up, check, see that no one's there, you tuck back down, wait a few seconds, and then peek back up, hope that they're in the middle or end of the hallway, and get some pretty free kills. Another option you have if you want to save your smoke is just jump spotting like this. If you do this, you're going to be playing to either drop your smoke or fight with your teammate. So if you have a teammate here who's spotting mid, as soon as you spot the tees coming out of tons, this person can turn around and fight, and then you can fight with them. But if you don't have a teammate in the site with you, just make sure after you spot them, you drop your smoke. And then just like before, if we get a flash behind us, we can fight with our smoke and get some pretty free kills. But yeah, that should cover all the basics for anchoring B site on Dust 2. If you're playing it in pugs, it's going to be really hard to play this site alone. If you are queued with someone, try and get them to play B with you because you can play setups together and play off of each other. Trying to anchor this completely alone with no support flashes or nobody in the site with you is going to be pretty impossible. So just make sure that you're setting yourself up for success if you can. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below. Check out my Discord or leave a message in my Twitch chat when I'm live. I do offer coaching and I have a link for that in the description below. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. See ya.